Already, so today we will actually try to blink one of our user LED with using C code. So we don't need this for now. So let's go ahead and create a new project. C++, that's fine. That's fine. C manage build, that's fine. So YouTube, so blink LED. And we will just start with this. This is also fine. If you don't know all of this, I already made a video on how to deal with something like this. So if you remember in our past video, we were able to okay, let's try this. If we go to, let's get out of debug section. Let's go to our SSH and let's go to, oh, my terminal is blocked, so let's try to open it back. SSH. Oh, that looks different. All right, so I don't know if you can see that. That looks very different. I don't like that. All right, so let's close out of this. I need that, I need that, I need that. So this is our remote system explorer. So let's open up. Let's open up. Okay, okay, okay. Let's open up terminal. So if we go to terminal, then we will open up SSH. Okay, perfect. That looks better. So if we do power, we can see that we are in Debian. So now, if you remember, we did something like this class, and we were able to get into our LEDs, right? And if we do, let's change into LEDs. So if you do list, we can see our LED class functions, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you remember, we were able to toggle it using trigger and brightness to toggle it. So what we are going to do today is do the same thing, but in C code, which is pretty exciting, right? So one thing we would like to do is, we need this. We will add a new include for timing, because we would like to wait for a X amount of time. So include, we will use un.h. It's a standard library that we can use. So now we can before we go into main, let's define some macros. So this is LED file path. We'll just call it LED for now. Okay. We can see it, so let's type it out. Class, then LEDs. Now remember, if we can choose whichever board we want to target. How about let's choose number 3. Number 3 is a good target too. So I'm gonna copy that. I'm going to put it right there. So basically, we will be controlling the user LED number 3. Sys class, that looks right. LED, that looks like BeagleBone green user 2, 3. All right, this looks good. So now if we decide that we want to talk to this, we need a way to connect to this part and be able to trigger a none. Remember, to control this LED, we need to turn off control of this LED by the kernel. And how to do that is assigning a trigger to none. So that gives manual control of the LED. Then as soon as we have manual control of the LED, then we can change the brightness or switch the LED on and off. Turn. Yes, we can turn LED on and off. I think that makes sense. So given that, we need to create our trigger command. And how do we build that trigger command? We can say file, then we can add a pointer here, that's trigger, and we can do f open. So that's opening up a file path. Then we can add this path here, then concatenate this path with trigger. Remember, for this part we need to, let's do a change, Beagle, then we can do this, then we need to echo. That should actually turn off the LED, but it's not. Echo, let's see, I think I need this to be a string. Let me show the video, so when it happens you can see it. So essentially what I'm trying to do here, is to turn off this LED. So if I'm doing it correctly, that did not do it. So echo none trigger, that should do it. How about let's do a cat trigger. Here we go. So it's actually none. So it's none, but the light is still on, which is bizarre. So let's try this. MMC0. Oh, so giving it MMC0 is shut off. Okay, that's interesting. I can't explain this. So now if we do a cat on trigger, it should be on the bracket should be on MMC0, which is what I expected. Okay, so everything is working now. So let's go and set it back to none. Okay, now that we echoed trigger, let's go ahead and do a cat trigger. So now we should be back to none. Perfect. And our LED is off. Perfect. Okay, so I don't know if you just saw what I did. We can do that in C code, and that's what we are going to do today. So now we want to create this file path for our LED as well, to basically change the brightness from 0 to 1. brightness 0 to 1, and we need to close this off. We need to close this off. All right. So we can say fput. Then we can actually do that non trigger. Okay. So let's I like this. Let's I want to run this code right now. So what I'm going to do, just to show you that it works, what I'm going to do is go ahead and right here we have a heartbeat here. So let's go ahead and do heartbeat. Here we go. That works. So now we are in heartbeat. So ideally, if I run this code, we should be able to shut it off, right? So let's go ahead and do that. And this code will only run once because we are not in while loop. So let's go ahead and debug our code, save, build our code. It should be, we got a failure here. So, I need to do a write here. We should. All right, so let's save. Let's try to build again, clean, build. Ooh, okay, we have one warning though. What is that warning all about? We have the unused variable. Oh, sorry, I'm not ready to use it yet. That's why. Okay, I'm not ready to use it yet. Okay, so now I can go ahead and blink this. Let's go ahead and debug it and just run it. So if you did not find, so that's actually our LED blink debug. Okay, that's fine. So we will go to our Debian remote application. Oh, okay, let's go here and I can search here. Perfect. That's what I was hoping to get. So I'll put it here. That's fine. And this is also fine. We already targeted our build project, which is good. Now this is where we need to find our gdb.ext, and that should be all we need. So we can apply and debug. Yep, we need to switch to debug. That's fine. So watch this is still blinking. So we should be able to, when we hit continue, this should stop blinking. At least that's the plan. So if I go ahead and hit continue, it's still blinking. So something is not right. Close this. F close, trigger. All right, so that looks good. How about let's check if this path is a valid path. So if trig, just so make sure that we check that the if it does not exist, I can error and we can return 1. All right, so all right, let's go ahead and save this time, and I can go ahead and terminate, and I can go ahead and run it again. So ideally, when I hit this continue, it would jump from here to here, and this should go off. So resume, still, and we did not get in here, which is good. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna save it again. I'm going a 0 on my LED. So let's try that. Fputs 0. Since I cannot control, I have it in manual, so that means that I can control it. So I would think that flush LED. Okay, so let's save, stop debugger, restart debugger. Is this okay? Fputs 0. Oh, there should be. That should be 0. Now let's add LED here. Oh my gosh, I'm returning here. Oh my goodness, I don't think I ever got in here. Well, I did, right? Oh, I was stopping here, but I never actually probed here. Oh my gosh, what a rookie mistake. So it just jumped, as soon as it hits here, it jumped all the way to here. All right, let's go ahead and fix that. Let's move this all the way to the bottom. Here you go. All right, so this should work now. Debugging. All right, so terminate, save my work, and go ahead and debug. All right, so now this is here. Let's go ahead and hit continue. Keep an eye on this, please. Huh. Well, let's see if we had any error here. So it went here and open. Oh, no such files in directory. Okay, child existed. So we pretty much went over here and all right, let's try that. Let's debug it. So if we get here, I want to know that we went in there. If we actually got here, I want to know. All right, so let's go ahead and hit continue. So we are now here. All right, continue. So we did not hit here, we went here, right here. So keep an eye on here. Ooh, finally it works. So, oh, it did not have a slash in front of the C's, okay? That's why. All right, so now we are able to shut off the LED in C code. I think I'll stop right here. This video got too long.